Chapter 1760 Unintentional Discovery. Stone Puppet was released by Yang Kai and let it move on its own. In the past year, Yang Kai will occasionally land on some dead stars. Every time this time, he will release Stone Puppet and let it explore and see if there are other gains. Stone Puppet didn't let him down either. With its natural talent, he can often find some rare minerals. But the number is not too much. Yang Kai doesn't care very much, just ordered it to refining and absorb it by itself. By absorbing these mineral essences, Stone Puppet can grow stronger and stronger. Stone Puppet Coco's body quickly disappeared from Yang Kai's field of vision. Only then did he take out various things from the space ring and begin to arrange the space law formation. The mountain valley he chose is not small. If you look at the void, it looks like a hole in the dead star. Yang Kai determined the location near the rock wall, and various materials and minerals began to melt in his hands, turning into various shapes. One after another, every big and small part appeared with the passage of time, piled up beside Yang Kai. These things are the basis for arranging space law formation, as long as they are completely refined, then put together completely, and then poured into Space Force, and engraved the space law formation's formation diagram, then they can be successfully accomplished. Yang Kai has done these things more than once. Before coming to leave Gloom Star, he personally arranged a space law formation that spans the stars and super long distances, so all this is not for him. It's difficult. All you need is time. Without help from others, it takes a little longer to deal with this alone. It took about 15 days before and after Yang Kai completed the layout of the space law formation. The layout of the space law formation is next to the rock wall. If you don't search carefully, you will not find it at all. Concealment. However, this kind of words cannot guarantee the safety of space law formation. As Yang Kai and Saint Yuan entered the formation in front of him, the space law formation actually began to change colors, and soon it looked exactly like the surrounding land. At first glance, this space law formation seems to be part of the Earth. Only when you look closely, you will find some clues. Before leaving, Yang Kai went to Colored Glass Sect to ask for that many thousand imaginary colored glass. It was not aimless. He wanted those 1,000 imaginary colored glass. The most important thing was to join space law. In formation, enhance the concealment of the formation. Although this is a dead star, who can guarantee that no martial artist will come here? If the formation is too obvious to be discovered, it must be a troublesome matter. But it is different with 1,000 imaginary colored glass. 1,000 imaginary colored glass can be myriad transformations. Yang Kai uses it into the formation to enhance the concealment of the formation is extremely simple. Furthermore, with the integration of 1,000 imaginary colored glass, the firmness of the formation is greatly enhanced. In this way, even if there are occasional meteorites or storms and so on, it will not be destroyed. Formation. After some investigation, it was confirmed that there is nothing wrong with the layout of OWN, and Yang Kai was very satisfied. He then began to seal the formation diagram inside the formation. With the completion of the formation diagram, Yang Kai poured Space Force into it again. The formation buzzed in an instant. Yang Kai raised his brows and his face was filled with joy. With this movement, it means that the formation arranged by OWN has already been connected with the one of High Heaven Sect, but whether it can be transmitted there is yet to be tested and verified. Naturally, he can only play this kind of thing himself. He is proficient in Space Force, so he will not be afraid even if the transmission is wrong. At worst, he relies on Space Force to tear the void and break out of spacecrack. In the heart called Stone Puppet, Yang Kai stood in place and waited quietly. After a full day's effort, Stone Puppet arrived late. If it weren't for the special spiritual connection between Yang Kai and it, knowing that it's safe and sound, I'm afraid it would have been accidental and would fall here. Yang Kai glared at it, and when he was about to open his mouth to reprimand, his gaze suddenly froze on Stone Puppet's belly, staring constantly. Stone Puppet's belly is chubby. At a glance, I know that this guy has swallowed a lot of minerals in this half a month, and it is a huge amount of minerals, otherwise it is absolutely impossible to make it a bottomless pit. The belly becomes like this. Yang Kai was surprised. Because he came along the way, the dead star that he came across was extremely barren, and some dead stars didn't even exist at all, so it could be said to be barren land. But now Stone Puppet has harvested so many minerals from this dead star. It can be seen that although there is no world spiritual energy here, it definitely has minerals. The value of minerals that can be seen by Stone Puppet is certainly not too low. Spit it out, let me see, Yang Kai said to Stone Puppet. Stone Puppet scratched his head, but there were no hesitates. With a mouth, a piece of minerals of different sizes and various colors appeared in front of it, and then piled up and taller, gradually forming up a hill. After vomiting, it was patted with a shriveled belly with an innocent expression on its face. This is. Yang Kai's eyes lit up, staring at a piece of mineral mountain in front of him that exudes silver color brilliance, about the size of a washbasin. He stepped forward and touched it, releasing the spiritual mind. After investigating, he whispered, "Heavenly seeking silver." Now Yang Kai is no longer the hairless brat of the year. After so many years of exploration and experience, he has created his extraordinary vision and profound knowledge. He didn't dare to say that he knew all of the various practice materials in star territory, at least it would be fine to recognize almost. Such a piece of silver color or the size of a basin is obviously void-grade high-rank material, heavenly seeking silver. If this thing is added to the refined secret treasure, it can greatly increase the flexibility of the secret treasure. In this way, the secret treasure will be hard to damage during battle. In simple terms, heavenly seeking silver is an auxiliary material that can be added when refining secret treasure. Any secret treasure can be added. It is a universal material. The martial artist regards own secret treasure as extremely valuable. If there are materials to improve the performance of secret treasure, it will inevitably lead to competition. Heavenly seeking silver is this kind of material, and its value is not low. Heavenly seeking silver the size of a pigeon egg can sell at least 100 high-rank Saint crystal. Heavenly seeking silver, the size of a basin, is worth at least several million. Yang Kai didn't come back to his senses from his surprise, but he was once again attracted by a piece of ore exuding golden light. Profound star essence. 5-colored sand. Phoenix tears green jade iron. There are so many Saint crystals. Yang Kai checked it out the same way. After a while, I was completely stunned by Stone Puppet's half-a-month harvest. He silently estimated the value of the pile of things in front of him, and suddenly found that the income of Stone Puppet half a month was almost equivalent to Gloomstar's storage of a medium sect. All these minerals in front of us are good materials for refining secret treasure, and some have even reached the Void King grade level. What makes Yang Kai most puzzled is that Stone Puppet actually swallowed a large amount of it. Saint Crystal. It is understandable that there are so many minerals in this dead star, but there is simply no world spiritual energy in this place. How could Saint Crystal this thing be produced? Saint Crystal is generally only born in cultivation star with spiritual energy and creatures, and will never appear in dead star. Yang Kai's eyes flickered, and two completely different guesses emerged from deep in one's heart, and did not hesitate. After Stone Puppet swallowed the things in front of him again, opened the mouth and said, "You from where did you find these? Take me to see." Stone Puppet did not say a word, used both hands and feet, leading the way. 100 miles away from the mountain valley where Yang Kai set up Space Law Formation, there is a cavern-like cavern. After Stone Puppet came here, he jumped directly. Yang Kai followed closely. When the Space Law Formation was arranged before, he also inspected the situation in a radius of 300, not at all, and found danger, but he didn't care much about such a cavern. Stone Puppet obviously found something good from it. The cavern seems to be very deep. All the way down, there is only the sound of strong wind blowing su-su in his ears. Yang Kai is not afraid, and spiritual mind is released to investigate the situation below. Even if it is dark, it can see clearly. Keep going down to about 3000 zhang, before reaching the bottom of cavern. After down to earth, Yang Kai immediately expanded spiritual mind and explored all around. This investigation, he was immediately shocked. This underground is not a deserted cavern as he imagined, but a huge space that is so huge that even his spiritual mind can't sweep the end. The air is a bit dry and does not affect breathing, but under Yang Kai's spiritual mind, he was surprised to find that there is a desolate scene of collapsed buildings in this space, endless. Has been extended to a very far position. It turned out to be a ruins of ruins. From the perspective of the architectural styles, the time of existence of this ruins is obviously very long ago, and it is very likely that it is the ruins left over from 10,000 years ago. And this piece of ruins is obviously still the headquarters of a certain sect. Sure enough, Yang Kai complexion was shocked, but his heart was extremely calm. All this is similar to what he had guessed. After discovering that Stone Puppet brought back a large number of Saint Crystal, Yang Kai guessed two possibilities. One possibility is that this dead star is nurturing the law of Own, and it is about to be formed. At this level of dead star, there is no clue on the outside, but inside it can produce Saint Crystal. These Saint Crystals will emit spiritual energy for countless years to come. filling the world of dead star, making dead star gradually suitable for life. This is also the process of the evolution of dead star into cultivation star. This kind of dead star is a newborn among the stars. But in Yang Kai's induction, he not at all perceives any law trace. In this way, this possibility is not true. The probability of another kind of guess is even greater. This dead star was not a dead star a long time ago, but a real cultivation star, but due to some changes, the law collapses, the spiritual energy dissipates, and it becomes what it is now. Tong Xuan continent may become a member of the dead star if it does not change, and after a few thousand over 10,000 years.